Welcome to Lockdown Lessons. Our new slogan for the current crisis, stay at home, protect the NHS, save lives, will probably not pass muster in the years to come. Will history look favourably upon it when compared with Churchill's iconic statements such as "we will fight them on the beaches, we will never surrender," or the other famous statements that related to the Battle of Britain, "never in the field of human conflict has so much been owed by so many to so few." Nor do we even know if staying at home will achieve either of the stated aims. Will it protect the NHS sufficiently so that in turn lives will be saved? Certainly we understand the logic. Less immediate stress placed upon the NHS and its limited resources should safeguard the whole population. However, we could ask another question. Is it our job, yours and mine, to protect the NHS? What is a National Health Service for, if not to protect the people that it serves from preventable threats to life? In fact, this is a really interesting and a valid question. Should the NHS be protected? Of course, even saying that might raise a few heckles. Just remember, however, that the NHS is about more than frontline staff coping with the current pressure in intensive care units all around the country. When it's taken as a whole, is the NHS really doing all that it can to protect and save lives? Is this just a clever slogan to enforce desired behaviour? Do we really believe the mantra? What if someone were to make the claim that there's a foolproof way of saving vast numbers of lives every single day? Something which did involve protecting the NHS and those who work in the healthcare sector. One simple act that absolutely guarantees the preservation of lives. Day after day, the media bombards our already overloaded minds with explosive figures. These numbers combine to form a devastating picture that threatens to cause anxiety, if not panic. Thousands dying here and thousands more there. Daily death tolls, nationally and internationally, rising and rising, it seems exponentially. And let's be honest, the impression produced is of a dilemma, the magnitude of which has never been seen before. Black Death, which between 1347 and 1351 killed an estimated 60% of the population, is not quite what we are facing at the moment, nor is it even close. Yet, there are other figures that we don't hear so much about. Figures such as this. Every day in the UK, there are on average 600 deaths that could be easily prevented. That's every day of the year, not just over the course of a number of weeks or months. And these deaths are entirely avoidable. At the outset of the coronavirus scare, the modelling that was employed by Imperial College London, which influenced the government's decisions, set the estimated deaths in the UK from COVID-19 at a staggering 500,000, 500,000, an absolutely colossal number of people. But 600 deaths per day is also a big number, because that equates to 220,000 deaths annually. But that figure, 220,000, isn't a projection based on statistical modelling. It isn't just the worst case scenario if we do nothing. It isn't a figure that we can revise down to a tenth of its original if we take certain actions. 220,000 is an actual figure of real deaths in the UK in 1 year due to one single cause. What is that cause? Well, it isn't some mysterious virus with a frightening name. Combating it doesn't require national lockdown and the potential destruction of economic and social life. It doesn't really need to adversely alter the way that we live. It doesn't even threaten mental health. In fact, if anything, it could do something to improve mental health. So what is this callous killer that is stalking the land? Well, the deadly agent at work is abortion. And yet the strange thing is that no one seems to bat an eyelid at these deaths and these figures. In fact, while so much is shut down and deemed unnecessary, almost to the point of curtailing and excluding people's ability to get out and exercise, abortion clinics remain open. And how perverse and twisted is that? On the one end of the NHS spectrum, so much is being put into saving lives. And then at the other end, so much is being done to take them. Remember, it's the same National Health Service, the National Health Service that is being heralded as a lifesaver, that is responsible for 98% of those 220,000 deaths. We could save the NHS. We could protect it from moral and ethical catastrophe by terminating terminations. Or, to state it in its true terms, stop the killing. So here's a novel idea. Why not take the money that's spent on abortions and use it to fund ventilators and frontline staff for intensive care units, saving 2 lives for the price of 1? So the mantra, the slogan, isn't so daft, is it? Stay at home, don't go to the abortion clinic. Protect the health care system so it can care about health. And save lives, save the lives of the most vulnerable in society. God gives us a clear mandate not to kill, to do no murder. And within that moral directive, we are required to preserve life. Because man is made in the image of God, all life is precious. And of course, we do applaud the courageous efforts of the NHS staff as they fight to save the lives of the critically ill, even those who they probably know have very little chance of pulling through. But we must also care for the life that has just begun. If 10,000 deaths and rising from a single cause is a national crisis, surely there's a bigger crisis when 220,000 die of a single cause. And is it not also true that the crisis is greater when the cause of death lurks within the health system, which is supposed to save lives? Stay at home, protect the NHS, save lives. It's a good sentiment. But let us make sure that we care for all life, that we genuinely take to heart the commission, the call, the command that God has given to us to care for all in our society that need our protection.